Hello, I'm Dr. Satish Kumar Kashid, presenting a topic spillways, chute spillways, side channel spillway, siphon spillway, labyrinth spillway. These four spillways we will be discussing. Learning outcomes of this session. At the end of this session, students will be able to classify the spillways depending upon the control structure of spillway and discuss the suitability of chute spillway, side channel spillway, siphon spillway, labyrinth spillway under different dam conditions. What is dam spillway? A spillway is a structure constructed at or near a dam to dispose of surplus water from the reservoir to channel downstream. Spillways are provided for all dams as safety measure against overtopping and consequent damages and failure. A spillway acts as a safety wall of a dam as excess water is discharged safely to the downstream channel and the dam is not damaged. Now, this is a classification of spillways based on control structure. Straight drop spillway, ogee spillway, shaft spillway, chute spillway, side channel spillway, siphon spillway, labyrinth spillway. In this video, I will be discussing these four: chute spillway, side channel spillway, siphon spillway and labyrinth spillway. These three spillways are discussed in other video. Now, this is a chute spillway at Tehri Dam in India. So, basically Tehri Dam is the earth dam, whereas this spillway portion is constructed in concrete. So, what are the characteristics of chute spillway, which is also called as a trough spillway or open channel spillway? Surplus water from upstream is disposed to the downstream through a steeply sloped open channel. This is the steeply sloped open channel. This is a peculiarity of the chute spillway. It is generally constructed at one end of the dam. It is constructed at one end of the dam, or constructed separately away from the dam in a natural saddle in a bank or a river. It is suitable for gravity dams, earth dams, rockfill dams, etc. because the slope can be varied as we want. It is preferred when the width of river valley is very narrow. See, a very narrow valley close by a dam with a chute spillway. The slope is such a way that the flow should be always in supercritical conditions. Of course, when the slope is steep, when water flows, the conditions will be supercritical. To dissipate energy from the falling water, energy dissipators can be provided on the bed of chute spillway. So, here energy dissipation arrangements are provided. This is chute spillway with a Ramaganga Dam in India. So, we find this is a chute of the spillway, the channel, and here we find that these are the training walls on both these sides, so that water will not spill over these. This is a water rushing out on one of the chute spillways at the Mosul Dam. See, the flow is supercritical. Now, let us discuss about the side channel spillway. What is side channel spillway? This is the main dam. This is a main dam, whereas this is a spillway which makes angle almost say 90 degree or more. As it is not possible to provide sufficient crest length in the main dam body, we are providing sufficient crest length here, so that water will cross the spillway and take a say 90 degree turn and then flow through a steep channel and go downstream. So, this is called as side channel spillway. So, similar to chute spillway, but only difference is that crest of side channel spillway is located on one of its sides, whereas crest of chute spillway is located between the two side walls. Water spilling over the crest is turned to 90 degrees and flows parallel to the crest of side of channel spillway. How? Just you see. So, this is a side channel spillway constructed here. So they have not constructed spillway here, but they have constructed here. Water passes over this spillway and then it passes over a chute. Then it passes over through the open channel, goes downstream. Suitability of side channel spillway. It is preferred where long overflow crest is desired in order to limit the intensity of discharge. It means if crest length is small, we will need more depth. More depth means more submergence area. So it is always better to have long crest so that you can limit the depth of water passing over the crest, and hence limit the submergence area. It is useful where abutments are steep. Just see, the abutments are steep. Where the control is desired by a narrow side channel. Just see, water is passed through a narrow side channel. Side channel spillways are preferred over chute spillways when flanks of sufficient width are not available, usually to avoid heavy cutting. That this type of spillway is hydraulically less efficient as water needs to take a turn. So this is a side channel spillway of Hoover Dam. So this is a narrow gorge across which this arch dam, Hoover Dam, is constructed, but again they have provided a side channel spillway. So this is that side channel spillway. This is the crest of that spillway. Excess water falls in this side channel, takes 90-degree turn, and thereafter it enters into a tunnel, and that tunnel passes the excess water to the downstream side. So the same spillway which I have shown you here can be seen here. So this is the spillway crest. Water takes a 90-degree turn in this channel, enters into a tunnel and then goes downstream. Just see, this is the same spillway crest, water coming, entering into the tunnel and then going downstream. Then let us discuss about a siphon spillway. This is a siphon spillway. It means excess water from reservoir is given away through a siphon. Let us discuss characteristics of a siphon spillway. It is a spillway in which surplus water is disposed to downstream through an inverted U-shaped conduit. So this is the inverted U-shaped conduit. The conduit is arranged inside the body or over the crest of the dam. Air vents are provided at the bent portion of the upper passageway to prevent the entrance of water when the water level is below the normal pool level. Means what? If you see this, so this is a dam, this is upstream, screens are provided, hood is provided, and this is a siphon. So this is the normal reservoir level, this is maximum reservoir level, water will pass through this. And see, this end of conduit is also underwater. That's why the difference in head here and here is a driving head which gives you more discharge as compared to any other spillway which discharges with just upstream water head. Whenever the level rises above the normal pool level, water enters into the conduit and is discharged to the downstream of the channel by siphonic action. Suitability. It is used to discharge full capacity discharges at relatively low heads. It means even though head is low, still it can give full discharge. That is the advantage of a siphon. Positive and automatic operation without mechanical devices is one of the important advantages. It means how it operates: as soon as water level passes this normal reservoir level, water starts flowing. Water starts flowing. When this level crosses this level, the air goes outside, the vent closes, and then siphon action takes place, and spillway discharges with the high capacity. What are the limitations of this spillway? It is difficult to handle flows materially greater than the design capacity. Yes, because it's a water passing through a pipe, not over a weir. Siphon spillways cannot pass debris or ice. Sometimes clogging of siphon may be there. In cold climates, freezing can be there. The structure is subjected to heavy vibrations during operation. Siphons cannot be normally used for vacuum heads higher than 8 meter. Now let us go to the labyrinth spillway. So this is one beautiful spillway, labyrinth spillway. Here what they have done, they have increased the length of the crest over which water passes. The characteristics, a weir wall is constructed in zigzag manner. Just see the weir wall in zigzag manner. In order to increase the effective length of weir crest with respect to the channel width. So just compare the channel width. This increase in effective length raises the discharge capacity of the weir. Higher discharge at small heads can be conveyed to the downstream easily by using this labyrinth spillway. A labyrinth spillway with a fish ladder at Hope Mills Dam, North Carolina. So this is a labyrinth spillway, and this is a fish ladder which eases the passage of fish from downstream to upstream, even though a dam barrier is in between. So let us go for some question answers. The spillway which can be adopted with ease on earthen as well as rock-filled dam is Ogee, Chute, both Ogee and Chute, or straight drop spillway. Answer is a Chute spillway. The spillway which can be adopted with ease on earth as well as rock-filled dams is a Chute spillway. The crest of siphon spillway is fixed at full reservoir level, dead storage level, maximum water level, or top of the dam. Answer is the crest of siphon spillway is to be fixed at full reservoir level. Let us come to conclusions. Chute spillways are suitable for gravity dam, earthen dam, rock-filled dams, etc. Chute spillways are preferred when the width of river valley is very narrow, whereas side channel spillways are preferred where long overflow crest is desired in order to limit the intensity of discharge. Labyrinth spillways can pass higher discharges at small heads. Selection of a particular spillway depends upon safety considerations, economy, topography, inflow, flood, discharge, till channel conditions, etc. These are the references which are used for development. Thank you.